Oh, well, I would say definitely some Universal classics, some of the films from the Universal catalog like Tarantula and Frankenstein. Um, Also, I'd love to host some Fulci films. Love to host Zombie, for instance. It's one of my all-time favorites. I love that movie.
Oh, yeah.
There's one movie that I always wanted to host because I hate it so much and it's so popular with people, and I just wanted to trash it because I think it's a horrible film. I wanted to host Twister. I think Twister is one of the worst pieces of crap ever made. Hate that movie, and I want to just tear it apart and just poke fun at all the just complete garbage in that movie.
Ooh, well, Helen Hunt just switched us off.
But anyway, that's a few of the films I'd like to host. I'd like to definitely the Universal classics, though. I think every host would like to tackle those.
So, Doc, what are you up to these days?
Oh yeah, the Fantastic Films of Vincent Price is something that I started. I think I started that in 2014. I just decided I'd always wanted to look at every film of Vincent Price's, and I thought, if I'm going to do this, I might as well make a YouTube series out of it, and that'll be a great project to keep me busy while my show's not on the air. So I started it. I contacted friends of mine on the internet and said, hey, can you help me get a hold of copies of these films? I got copies of every feature film that he made. I'm not including all his TV appearances, and I'm not including the documentaries that he voiced. They just did voiceover. Anything that he actually appears in, though, I'm shooting a video for it where I'll talk about the film, kind of give a brief overview of it, give a little bit of critique about it, not a whole lot. It's not really about being a movie critic so much as it is just, hey, this is a look at this film. This is what this film's about. There's been plenty of books that have gone through Vincent Price's filmography, but nobody's ever really done it in video format. And it's cool to actually see it all put together because you get to see the look of Price in every film, which varies pretty widely over the years, starting in his first film in 1939 all the way to his last, Edward Scissorhands really being his last one. He did a made-for-TV thing too after that, but it's pretty cool to see the expanse of his career from that first one all the way through, and it's been interesting seeing some different things about each decade that I didn't know. I'm learning a lot about it and having a lot of fun in the process. So that's what that Fantastic Films of Vincent Price is all about.
But rest assured, in the seasons ahead, more astounding tales will materialize. And in the movie business, that means you can look forward to a sequel. I trust that you have enjoyed your journey across the bizarre landscape of pro football. It's been my pleasure to guide you. As always, I remain very truly and very strangely yours, Vincent Price. Shadows cover every patch of ground. Doom emits a frightful sound. An ill wind begins to howl and thrash. The referee does the monster mash. You try to scream, but it's too late. You can't escape the hand of fate. Grim faces regard you with a menacing glance. Slimy things crawl up your pants. A channel that can't be changed mesmerizes you with images that are strange but true.
What is your favorite Vincent Price flick?
Well, it's really hard to pick just one. I mean, I like all of the Roger Corman films from the '60s. Really like the 50s William Castle stuff. Like Witchfinder General a lot. I like the 70s Fibes films and Theater of Blood. So those are some of my favorites. I say Theater of Blood, Abominable Dr. Phibes, House on Haunted Hill, The Tingler, of the Corman stuff, probably Comedy of Terrors and Tales of Terror. Yeah, it's hard to pick just one, but that's a few.
Tell us a little bit about your other works.
Oh, I'm always keeping busy with something. I write in my spare time. I've had a column the last few years in Scary Monsters magazine, which may or may not be wrapping up with issue number 100 in January. Dennis has been a little vague about it. He's hinted that he's going to hang it up after issue 100, that was kind of his goal all along, to get to 100 issues. We'll see. I've written some fiction. That's been something that I've done the last couple of years. I'm about to put out a short story collection. I've had a handful of short stories published in different anthologies and places a couple of places online, but different printed anthologies as well. So I'm kind of collecting all those. Going to put those out. Just always doing something. I was in a band had a little band for a little while, doing kind of the I mentioned Alice Cooper earlier being, I think I mentioned Alice Cooper earlier being an influence of mine. Well, kind of followed through with that, kind of did my own shock rock thing for a little while. That was fun. So, I'm always keeping busy with something.
I came back from the grave, from rock and roll is what I crave. Can't keep me on the stage. I'm rock and roll. And Doc, you have won quite a few awards in your illustrious career, unlike some of us, haven't you?
Wait, there we go. There's another one. Yeah.
Well, I've been really fortunate. People have enjoyed what I've done and appreciated it, and I just can't thank everybody enough for all their support over the years. It's been a fun ride. We've won a few won 3 Rondo awards here for really for the show, but really for my writing, for my blog, and my one for my blog, one for my website, and one for the PSA campaign that we did. I was inducted into the Horror Host Hall of Fame earlier this year, and that was a huge honor. Thank you for everybody for making that happen. And we're local stuff. Nashville Scene, local magazine, gave us an award, Best of Nashville award. That was pretty cool. We were, like I may have mentioned earlier, tons of magazine appearances. Had been spotlighted in pretty much every major magazine. Gear magazine called us one of the 10 best cable access shows in the country back when we were doing the cable access show. That came out of the blue, just out of nowhere. So that was pretty fun. That came out of the blue, and it was. It's been crazy. I mean, every time I turn around, something new's happening that just blows my mind. It's been a fun ride, and I just have been really fortunate that, like I said, people enjoy what I did. So thank you, everybody, for your support. You guys rock.
So you mentioned you were voted into the Horror Host Hall of Fame. What's that like?
Well, that was really cool because being accepted by your peers is one of the biggest compliments you can get. And, so being a part of something, being able to say I'm a Hall of Famer. I did a couple of podcast interviews last year, and this guy referred to me as a Hall of Famer. I was like, okay, well, I guess so. And it just feels kind of good, But to be listed in the same breath as some of the greats like Svengoolie and the original Svengoolie and Rich Coast too, and Zachary and Elvira and Vampira, Ghoulardi. That's some pretty heady company. Those guys were the best, and to be listed among them as in the Horror Host Hall of Fame, that's pretty cool.
So it's been over 15 years. What's Dr. Gangrene meant to you?
What has Dr. Gangrene meant? It's meant a lot of work. That's what it's meant. It's been a really, I tell you, Dr. Gangrene is something I've lived with since 1999 when I created the character. It's a part of me now. There were times where I would think to myself, I'm kind of done with that. I want to move on to something else, but it always brings me back, and it'll be something that's part of me for the rest of my life. So it's been a lot of fun, a lot of hard work, and again, something I'm just very proud of, the work that we've done over the years.
Final thoughts?
Well, in closing, I'd just like to say I want to thank all those people who have helped me out over the years, and in particular, really two guys in particular that I need to thank, and that would be Chuck Angel, the guy that I originally started my program with back in 1999, who was a huge part of the show for a number of years until we moved to the CW and kind of, just had different, life took us different paths. But a good friend of mine, I still talk to him all the time. Really, Chuck Angel and Cameron McCaslin, who is my current director, who, after Chuck left, somewhere along the line, Cameron and I started working together. And both of those guys are great friends of mine who are creative and amazing people. Once Cameron came on board, he breathed a whole new, fresh energy into the show that I really needed.
Trick or treat.
So I'd just like to thank both of them. I'd like to thank all the fans who have supported me over the years, and my family for putting up with me doing this for all these years as well, because as I said, it's been a lot of work. So they've been awesome and supported me throughout. So anyway, that's it. Thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Doc. It was a real treat having you on our first show tonight. And thank you for joining us as well. And until next time, keep your blood warm and your beer cold. This is Count Jimby, signing off.
Who's the man you heard about? Who's the one that'll shut your mouth?